Hi guys, bit of Thrones theory for you today. As many of the fans of the show know, our beloved gentle giant Hodor perished in the episode The Door in season 6. And there's quite a few theories flitting around the internet, most of which I agree with, and a few of them I'm going to outline for you today about his current fate and status in the Game of Thrones lore. Now, the major one is that he is in fact dead, perished at the hands of the Whites as he was torn apart whilst trying to allow Bran time to escape in his unconscious state. And obviously, the idea is that he is turned into a White. He is resurrected from the dead either by the Night King just raising the dead in proximity to him to replenish his forces, because he did take casualties after Leaf blew herself up to give them more time to escape, and he might have been in range of his freaky super cosmic powers and therefore rose from the dead. Or it could have been that the Night King saw him and thought, yes, that is the kind of person I want on Team White Walker, as a sort of heavy unit. So he raised him that way. And let's be fair, everyone's going to love this theory, and everyone wants to see this happen because it's going to be cool seeing zombified Hodor lumbering around the battlefield, possibly taking part in one of the major battles against the White Walkers in either this season coming up or later seasons, maybe as an obstacle, sort of like a boss character for our stalwart heroes. Perhaps Jon Snow has to take him down in single combat. He may have picked up a weapon. He could have had like a massive axe or something, something really cool. A lot of cool stuff could come from it. One of the thoughts I had, I don't know if anyone's thought of this theory, is that Bran could still have the ability, if he is turned into a White, to warg into him. Perhaps. It might be a way for Bran to sort of get behind enemy lines within the ranks of the White Walkers, maybe look for ways in order to defeat them. Who knows if that's going to be maybe a part of it. It probably isn't going to happen like that. But, it would be cool to see Hodor back on screen as a White, being able to rip people apart, maybe just something cool to see, just him smashing through a lot of meat, cutting people up, that kind of thing. The other theory is that he is in fact actually alive, because with many things in Game of Thrones, if you don't see them die on screen, like we saw with the Hound, it doesn't mean they're actually dead. As we know, the Hound is still alive. We haven't seen Stannis die on screen yet. We just saw Brienne slash into the camera, which could mean that she hit the tree above him. Like maybe because she didn't want to kill an unarmed man. There's no honour in it. So we don't know if Stannis is dead yet. He could return, he could not. But Hodor, we don't see actually physically die. He's listed as being ripped apart by White. This is what we saw him doing. You can see him scratching his face and ripping at him. But in actual fact, he could easily survive those wounds. And there could be several ways in how he survived. It could be the fact that he waited for Bran to be far enough away until he couldn't take any more of the pain, then just runs off into the snow and loses the Whites. He could have, even though he's quite slow and lumbering, he could have managed to get away because the Whites still had to get through the door. They might have not been as able to get through the door as we thought they might have been able to. But yeah, he could have ran off and done a bit of escape and evasion and is now lumbering round the north looking for Bran. Or what could have happened is, you don't really see it, but after Leaf blows herself up, there could have been other caches of her little bombs underneath that could have ignited and exploded after the fact, even though we didn't see that, and wiped out the Whites, and Hodor survived the blast and he managed to pull himself away and escape. Or, the Night King could have recalled his forces back to him so they could march off somewhere else because his objective was met, or in a everlasting chase for Bran. You don't know. The Whites could have given up and walked off at the call of their master. We just don't know. But what we will find out in season 7 is where he plays into it. He might not even appear until season 8, but we do know that he will reappear at some point. He must do in some way or form. Either that, or the final theory is he's just non-existent anymore. and we won't see him again, which is a sad thing. It could be that. It could be that they just gave him the send-off they wanted, a sacrifice in order to save Bran, who is he's been his loyal servant from when he was basically had him on his back and been in charge of looking after him. So it could be just there as a nice send-off for him, and he could just not appear again, which would be unfortunate. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, guys, which is your theory. If your theory is similar to these, there's a different theory. You've got some other crazy idea that could have happened to Hodor, but we'll soon find out in July if he will return for Season 7 or possibly hinting at Season 8. Just watching, guys. See you next time.